Welcome to the Spanish Manor 1664. In this video, we are completing this arch, which is so beautiful.
Okay, today we're continuing with the build of the reclaimed stone barbecue that we were showing you the other day. As you've seen, we've begun to stage a couple more stones in here. I wanted to explain a little bit about what we're doing. Now, keep in mind, we are not experts. Thankfully, we do have some neighbors that are sort of guiding us through this a little bit, but yeah. What are you doing? Here's the deal with this. So this is our arch. We found these pieces. Well, we found all of these stone pieces. A big pile of rubble that was for sale. We sifted through it, and we found this arch, and we thought immediately, this is where we're going to do, where we're going to use these stones. Anyways, so arches, when they're fully done, the capstone goes in the top, and they kind of push outwards. We, as you see here, don't have anything on either side. So what we've been doing when we're building this up is we've been connecting these stone pieces together with rebar on the inside, just to sort of attempt to try and fix it in place. We're also connecting it to the sides, so trying to make one homogeneous unit here. These two pieces here have been temporarily staged. Getting the rebar to match up here was kind of a brain teaser for us. We've, like I said, never done this before, so we thought, how are we gonna make them line up? And the strategy we've been using is we put globs of paint on the inside where we want the holes to be, and then we bring the other stone over and we place it as perfectly as possible, and then the glob of paint matches up between the two stones, and that's where we start drilling our holes. It's worked mostly okay. We got to do some adjustments, but I think it's coming along well. So today we want to fix these guys in place. This guy, as you see here, it's got to come out a tiny little bit. Level wise, we're doing good because we want both sides to be level to each other. Here we're perfectly level, which is fantastic. And in the backs of these stones, I'm cutting a little channel so that the fire brick that's on the inside sort of sits inside of those stones. Here where you see all these bricks, obviously that's not what it's going to be like when it's finished. Those are our supports for the fire bricks that we have on the back. The back needs to, start where you'd expect it to start, but then curve up so that in the end, this space between the arch and these fire bricks at the back, that ends up being the, let's call it the smoke escape area. And our neighbor was telling us that this curvature is there for various reasons. One of them is to direct the smoke. The other one is we've created a sort of shelf there at the top, right? So the chimney itself actually sits on top of there, not directly, probably about a foot or a foot and a half up. So we've got an empty cavity up here. And the reason for that is if when the chimney's in place, if it's right above this this shelf, let's call it, when wind comes in it, it'll flow down, it'll hit the shelf, and it'll come back up, right? Rather than forcing the air out the front and blowing smoke in our faces. So that's the theory anyway. We're going with it. We feel good about it. We've gone and we've looked at a bunch of other chimneys to see how that all works, and this is our interpretation of it. So we've got 3 sets of fire bricks at the top there that haven't been fixed in place yet, which we've got to do today, as well as the sides. So on this side and on that side, some more fire bricks. If we get that done, then The firebox portion of our build will be complete, and we'll begin to work on that cavity at the top with the chimney, and then building up the stone. Then we can fill in both sides here on either side of the barbecue, and the stonework for this area will be completed. So we're looking forward to achieving that.
We are beginning the weekend with placing the third pieces of each side of the arch and finishing the firebox. So Shane's making the groove. He should be wearing a mask, that's for sure. He's placing the groove on the back side of the stone so that we can have enough room for the fire bricks behind it. We are measuring, leveling, and figuring out the exact spots so we can drill in the iron rods to hold those in place and then finish the firebox on the inside. He's now drilling some holes into the wall again for extra iron and rebar so that when we pour the final concrete on top of that last shelf of the firebox, it is held in by the iron. Here we are, placing the final stone of this arch, the third piece on this side, and we are putting in lime mortar in between and getting the iron that goes into the back, into the concrete that will go behind it to hold it in properly. And leveling it is tricky. If between the sides, then the top. So some sides have a little bit more mortar than others, and then we have to stuff it in with more so these stones do not move. We are placing the mortar in all of the cracks behind and all of the fillers behind where we've put the cement, the refractory mortar and everything. It's just to make sure that those stones are in place. And now Shane's taking the bricks off of the concrete that we poured so then we can work on the refractory mortar later this afternoon. So Shane's going to use the rest of that mortar on the wall behind it so we can continue building the wall where we're going to have wood storage. We had too far of a gap in between the fire bricks and the stones back there, so we had to add in some more cement before the refractory mortar, just to fill in the holes. Otherwise, we would use a ton of the refractory mortar, which is quite expensive and difficult to use. Here are my sweet girls painting the chicken coop to make it really pretty with a beach scene for our chickens that we were going to get. And using acrylic paint, so they are getting it everywhere. It did come off in the end, so yay! Here's day 2. We are placing the last 3 pieces of the arch, and these stones are so heavy, but together they're pretty good. And we've gotten so used to holding and rolling stones this summer that it isn't as bad anymore. Doing it together definitely makes it easier. Now, you can see that we are trying to place this last stone, but we see that we've got too many centimeters in between, so we've got to put a lot more mortar on the one side than the other, like I was saying before. So here it gets a little more intimate, I'll say, because I had to, Machine's holding the stone and trying to move it into place, and I'm supposed to be putting mortar and fixing it and making sure it's level underneath. So the underneath arch is, the inner arch is all level. And there were words exchanged here, but I am all up in between his legs trying to get there. I can't see anything, so I'm just feeling. It took us a bit more time and more patience than either of us had at the moment. Again, here's us filling in all of the cracks, making sure that it is level, figuring out how much more mortar we need or how to get it into the back with that wall of brick that we have supporting it. It took forever to do. Working on that last piece over there on that side. Same experience that we had before, where we start to place this last side piece of the arch over here before the keystone, and just leveling it is very hard to do, and I go around, up and down, all through, and definitely still can't see. I'm glad I'm doing this with my husband and no one else. We got it level and in the right place. And it's not level. So Sheen got up with the mallet and was just hammering out some of the mortar so we can make it a little lower, so it's the right height and the center keystone will sit properly. So we think it's level now. It will turn out to be. We are prepping these stones with water and then putting lime mortar in each of them, a hefty amount, and before the final keystone. So Sheen's just cutting a couple more pieces of rebar, thicker, that will go in between each of the joints with the keystone into the back, where we have more mortar back there to support it. And we've placed the keystone. This got tricky because it's not even, and it was missing a chunk out of the top left corner, and so it didn't look very even to me. I kept saying that it needed to go higher on one side. Sheen kept saying, it's level, and I just finally bit my tongue. Well, later we've ended up putting another piece of rebar underneath the stone to lift it up that centimeter that I kept saying was off. We get there in the end. Now I am sent to find the perfect sized piece of wood to support and tilt the keystone forward. And so none of the wood that I was bringing was perfect, so I kept going and coming back, then getting bricks and trying to help. We did it. This is where I have mentioned my complaint that it doesn't look even on the bottom of the keystone. And so it starts our, well, you do it, no, you. Lovely bickering. Put in, and I feel much better. Phew. The kids always ask, why don't you guys come color with us or paint with us? And I simply have to say that Mom and Dad have other arts and crafts projects that we do. We mortar and put all these stones on our walls and mortar a stone arch in place. It was amazing. As always, we are using the remainder of the mortar just to do another row or two on this stone wall in the corner that's going to be our wood storage. I'm in charge of bringing the rocks, whatever size the stonemason requires, and he puts them in, and the dog joins us and sniffs. Just a quick look at all that we did today, mortaring wise, that has to be brushed within a couple of hours or up to the next day. You want to get it, the lime mortar, you want to get when it's still a little bit damp, so you get a nice brush to it. If it's too dry, you get too much of the silica dust breathing it in. Here's the firebox with the incline and the refractory mortar on the side and the gap. Thank you for joining us in Spanish Manor 1664. We are loving building this massive asador barbecue out of reclaimed stone. Hope you're enjoying it. Please like and subscribe if you do.